mess anything up, but I'm not a microphone kind of a guy, and I can't stand podiums. Can I move this a little bit? You don't mind? Thank you. We just drove up from the great state of Illinois. Put stuff somewhere. Oh, let me put my glasses there. I'm going to grab my water. It is great to be here. Thank you. We did. We left Rockford, Illinois. How many people know where Rockford is? There we go. Shout out. Spoke in front of about 70 to 80 Tea Party patriots in Rockford at 10 o'clock this morning. Hopped in a car and away we went to come here. Why in God's name am I here? I love being here. Because I was asked. Beth, and where's Reese? Reese, come here. Come here. Come here, young man. You had no idea I was going to call you up. Come here. Come here. I'm going to totally embarrass you. I met Beth and her boy Reese at Freedom Works in D.C. And you had the nerve to say that you liked me and you wanted me to come speak. And Reese just sat there and nodded his head. So how can I turn this down? I couldn't. Look, you're almost done. Every member of Congress, not every member on the Republican side, has tried to articulate why the heck we're there. What are we doing? Some have done a better job of that than others. The best reason I can think of is almost wordless. Why am I there? Boom. Look at that face. Look at that face. You have fun? Get out of here. Thank you, Reese. Probably everybody in this room, genuinely fears, say that again, fears for the country he's going to grow up in, unless this country, this government, the Republican Party, or somebody else gets it right. We are this close. 6 months ago, whenever I spoke, I'd say, we're this close to never being able to get it back. We're this close to never being able to get back what this country is. And I'm going to take it. I'm not going to speak for hours. And I'm going to hit this president over his head, because the president, he has no clue, really no clue about what makes this country tick. But that's not who our fight is with. That's not who our fight is with if we want to save this thing. Look, my name is Joe Walsh. I'm a freshman member of Congress. I represent the suburbs, a district in the suburbs of Chicago, Barack Obama's hometown. And I went to Washington. Well, let me backtrack. I've been in Washington for about 15, 16 months right now. And for better or for worse, I have become the congressional face of this movement. I know that because I've got Democrats right now who want to lynch me. I am target number one. That's only half of it. I've got my Republican Party that probably, truthfully, in the private quiet of their decided to run for Congress. It took me a long time to write this speech out, and I actually was fairly nervous when I delivered it. But my opening was, I said, I'm Joe Walsh, comma, I feel like I'm losing my country, comma, and I am angry at both parties for putting us on a path that's going to bankrupt our kids and our grandkids, and away I went. And I began every speech with those words for the entire campaign. And an amazing thing happened. I found out personally that a lot of Americans feel the same way. And when I started out, and I'm a Republican, look at me, I'm a Republican, but when I started out and I hit my party over the head repeatedly, it wasn't easy. I got some looks. I got Republicans who back then wanted to throw me into a waste trash. It wasn't easy. And I would say I'm a Tea Party conservative first and a Republican second. I said that in a Republican primary with 5 other Republican candidates. You should have seen some of the looks I got from the other candidates up here and from members of the Republican Party, officials in the Republican Party in Illinois. You just don't talk that way. But the looks I got from people out in the audience when I would say things like this, and I'd get people nodding, I'd get people smiling. When I say that I truly believe this country right now that we love has begun a revolution for the very soul of this country, I'd see Republican Party officials in the back of the room going, what's he talking about? Oh my God, who is this angry guy? But I'd see people in the audience nodding their heads. People would clap. People would smile. People would cry. Because you get it. You get it. It has been an amazing first year in Congress. It hasn't been easy. I'm one of those guys that the Washington Post called part of the apocalypse caucus. Because I'm one of the 22 or 24 members of Congress who has never voted with my leadership on every single spending bill. And it's made life very difficult. Look, I hail over in Illinois, and I was born and raised in Illinois. I love Illinois. It's a great state. Its governance is an embarrassment. Our governor is a tool. The city of Chicago is ruining the state of Illinois. If you think the country's in debt, Illinois is beyond in debt. And the Democrats control redistricting in Illinois, so they did a number on each and every one of us. But none of that matters. I guess a few of the takeaways that I want to give everybody tonight are that I am not at all satisfied with what we've done this first year in Congress. How many people are? So I'm going to agree with you, and I've spent the last year being as frustrated with you, being as angry with you, because we were sent there to be bold. We were sent there to stop this president. We were sent there to grab our party, the Republican Party, by the, you pick the body part, and shake it up, and shake it back to its limited government roots. We were there to be examples. When I say things like, I'm a term limit guy, there's no way on God's green earth I'll serve more than 6 years in Congress. It's not what our founders envisioned. I turned down my congressional health benefits. I turned down my congressional pension benefits. mattress in a very uncomfortable office. I come home all the time and hold town halls and listen to the people that sent me there. We were sent there to be an example. I am every bit as frustrated as each one of you is as well. But I'm going to close, when I close, in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I want to take some questions, with a plea to focus your frustration on winning this next election in November, even if it means you're going to have to vote for somebody who really doesn't get it or really doesn't excite you. Part of why I've gotten in trouble is because I just say what's on my mind. And that's an odd thing in Washington. And I've gone after this president almost every single day. He doesn't understand this country. It shouldn't surprise us, right? It should not surprise us, right? We let our guard down 3 years ago when we elected him. We stopped looking at him. We didn't listen to what he said. We didn't look at his experience. We didn't really think about what he thought of this country. Maybe you did. The country at large let our guard down. Why? Why? Because we were so caught up in who he was. Look, even those people who voted for him, nobody voted for this guy based on anything he'd done. It's never supposed to be a joke, but he never really did much, right? I don't think many people voted for him based on what he said. I really don't think people listened to him. This country elected him based on who he was. A historic figure, the first of its kind. And a lot of this country got caught up in it. It made us feel good, right, as a country. Now it helped! It helped that John McCain was about 142 years old. It helped that we were sick of W. We were sick of the war. The economy was tanking. All of that helped. But we basically plucked an Illinois state senator up out of the ground and made him our president. And we did that because of who he was, because he was a historic figure.
Con man.
Folks, those days are done. Those days are gone. He's had 3 years. Now we know as a country what he thinks. Now we know as a country what he believes. And now we know as a country what he's done. And so when I would say a year or so ago, oh my God, you know, this guy's policies, he's destroying everything that makes this country great. This country was founded on freedom. This country was founded on the notion that it's your life. Let me live my life. Let me grow a business. Let me take care of my family. This guy doesn't understand that. And I can tell you, being in Washington for a year, most Democrats, in fact, I'll take that back. The Democrats don't understand that either. Our fight, if you want to save this thing, is with the Republican Party.
That's right.
In this election. Our founders had, this country was built on the original American dream. And we know what that dream is. And we're a long, long way right now away from that dream. The original American dream was pretty simple and pretty exquisite. It said, you make $1. Here's a novel concept. That's your money. Let me say that again. You make $1, that's your money. Or as our founders said, you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Okay? Now even our wise founders like Madison and Jefferson said, you know what, we need a little bit of government, right? We need a little bit of government because men aren't angels. So of that $1 you make, they said, you got to give a little bit to support a government. Let's say you give the government 9 to 10 cents. but 91 cents of that dollar is yours. It's your money. It's your life. But here's the bargain, America. You then are responsible for your life. You take that dollar and you go start a business. You take that dollar and you take care of your family. You take that dollar and you take care of your parents as they get old. You take that dollar and folks, you got to go out and shop for your own health care. You take that dollar and you decide what charity you're going to contribute to. You take that dollar and you get involved in your church. It's your life, it's your freedom, and you're responsible for your life. That is what this country was founded upon. Nobody in this room is old enough to remember life under that American dream. Because the other America didn't just start with Obama. For 100 years, our country has moved away from that dream. And for 100 years, Republicans and Democrats have taken us away from that dream. And this president, it's almost accidental. He just arrived on the scene 3 years ago, and he's the poster child. He is the poster child for the other America that we live in right now. And that America that we have all lived under says, you make that dollar, I'll go back to you. You make that dollar, you know what? It's really not your money. And I can tell you, a lot of people in Washington think that way. It's really not your money. So, I'm going to take 60, 61, 62 cents of it. And you're going to give it to me. And you get to keep the rest. But you're going to give me all of that. And by the way, that number goes up every month and every year. So then, we give all that money to government, and this new America that we live in says, government will take care of everything. Hey, government can take care of his family. Your parents, when they get older, Medicare, government-run health care, government will take care of them. Government will regulate businesses. Government will bail everybody out of their student loans. Hey, you having trouble keeping up with your mortgage? Government will take care of it. Government will take care of us all. This is what's happened to this country over the last 100 years. And we are at such a scary point right now because for the first time in our history, we have about 50% of this country that's not paying taxes anymore to government. And we have the highest percentage of Americans ever dependent upon government. Heritage Foundation came out with a scary number a couple weeks ago. Median family income for all of us out here in Spencer and McHenry, Illinois, where I live, median family income for all of us out here is about $32,000 a year. The average amount of the average subsidy from government that the average person dependent upon government gets is $33,000 a year. It's now more than what the average working American makes out here. Folks, when I tell you we are this close to losing it, I'm serious. We're all serious. Because once you're dependent upon government, who the heck are you going to vote for in the next election? Who are you voting for? The party of government. Once you're dependent upon government, we've lost you. You're going to keep voting for the party that's going to keep your benefits going. That's the America, that's sort of this new liberal, progressive American dream that this country has lived under for the past so many years, and it gets worse every year. I get in trouble with a lot of my Tea Party audiences when I say the following. Thank God President Obama got elected. Thank God. He woke this country up. You know Mike, I know, right? If John McCain had been elected 3 years ago, nothing against John McCain. I have a lot against John McCain. He called me. He had the nerve last year to call me a Tea Party hobbit. I called him a troll. Does anybody doubt that if John McCain had been elected 3 years ago, instead of Obama running away with all our money, you know what McCain would be doing, right? Just sort of walk in the same direction. Walk in the same direction. Folks, that's what we're up against. I'm in the media a lot. I love going on MSNBC. If you spend 20 minutes with Al Sharpton, your life will be changed. And I love saying things that just bug the you-know-what out of me. And I was on either Matthews or Sharpton or somebody a couple months ago, and they're licking their chops right now. Because they're thinking this Tea Party movement's done, right? It's done, nothing left, right? And so I tried to say with a very straight face, Chris, Al, whoever you are, Rachel, no, you know what? I think the Tea Party movement, I think it's still growing every day. Yeah. Silent majority. I know it's growing. And what's interesting is they've put their faith in the Republican Party one last time to try to get this right. When they sent us to Congress in 2010, and not all of these freshmen are Tea Party freshmen. We all understand that, right? We're wise enough to know that. But when you all reacted, when America reacted and said, my God, I don't know about this Obama guy, this doesn't feel right. He's growing government. He's got us bailing out car companies, and he's got my government doing things my government never used to do. And oh, by the way, there's that debt. Oh yeah, this doesn't feel right. I don't like Republicans, but I got to check this somehow. I'm going to send Republicans to the House. So as America woke up, that's the first political thing they did. And I tell all my Republican friends in Washington, don't be patting yourself on the back. Don't think they sent us here and now we get to rule this city and we get to do what Republicans ordinarily do, which is, remind us, right? Democrats run us toward big government. Republicans slowly walk us there. The Tea Party movement put their faith in the Republican Party one last time to get it right. I'm glad you did, and I'm going to ask you to do it again in November, because there's nobody else in Washington right now to save us. I pull my hair out every day in Washington when I listen to Democrats. Oh my God, they believe this stuff. It's genuine. Now they can't stand up in front of a big audience and say, I believe in government-run health care. I want everybody in this country dependent upon government. They can't say that, but folks, that's what they believe. They can't say, if I could, I would legalize every illegal immigrant in this country, because that's 14 million votes. That's what they want. That's what this president wants. They can't say that, but that's what they believe. If they would increase everybody's taxes. Because again, this is genuine. This is genuine. They really, truly believe it's not your money. I forget his name. There was a congressman from New York back during the height of the debt ceiling stuff. And he and I, we were on some show, or there was a joint interview in a newspaper, and I finally got him so frustrated. He said, you Tea Party guys, you won't let us spend any money! In a fit, he just blurted it out, and how telling that was. How telling that was. So, half the equation, guys, is gone. This is what the Democrats believe. We talked about the two American dreams, right? The original American dream. Your life, your money, your responsibility. Your freedom!
That's right.
Life! Your freedom! Hey, I disagree. We probably all disagree. Legitimate point of view, the other American dream. Government's money. Government will take care of everything. Do the best you can. They know best. It is a legitimate view. Most European countries revolve around this. Look at Greece. Look at Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is still an American state. It's beautiful. I love what's going on in Wisconsin. I love what's going on in Greece. Like little 15-year-olds stamping their feet. I don't care if we're broke. Reese, where are you? Reese, I don't care if every dollar you make in 20 years goes to pay off our debt. Those folks in Wisconsin are saying, I want my benefits. I want my benefits. I think it's beautiful because the American people can very vividly see the face of that America. That's not us. That's not us. Forget them. Your only hope right now is the Republican Party. That's hard to say. Excuse me, leadership, excuse all my presidential nominees. I apologize. But right now, your only hope is the Republican Party. Will we deliver? I don't know. I don't know. But right now, it's all we got. Will there be a third, a fourth, or fifth party down the road? Only if the Republican Party doesn't do what they need to do. Because let me close with this, and then I'll take some questions. We are this close to never, ever being able to get this America back. This close. Can you just imagine what this president will be like if he's not constrained by an election? Think about it. Look at what he did when he basically said freedom of religion, and he stepped all over it. Imagine if there's not another election. What do you think? How do you think he's going to modify that HHS rule? We know what he's going to do. We have got to treat this next election like a hell of a lot more than an election. I really want you to be there with me in feeling and believing that the country you love, and Jefferson and Madison would be proud of us. We really are going through a revolution. Our founders said this is going to happen. Every couple of 100 years, you're going to have a wrestling match. I mean, an ugly wrestling match about what this country was founded on. I get so angry at people when they say, I wish you could all get along. Come on, quit fighting so much. Quit arguing. Quit bickering. Come on, get along. No, my God. No. Men risked, it was men back then, risked everything to start this country you're sitting in. Men and women have died over the years to preserve it. You're telling me it's not worth going on MSNBC and shouting with Democrats? It's not worth getting in the face of this president? And it's not worth getting in the face of my own leadership to say, save this thing? We know it is. I know I'm going to be asked this, so I'm going to close with this. Romney, Santorum, Gingrich, and Paul.
Yay!
Keep it down.
Freedom of speech.
I'll just be honest. None of them really excite me much. None of them float my boat much. It doesn't matter. And you, Ron Paul guy, and whoever else you are with in this room, whoever it is, And I'm saying this as a guy who's died on my principles for the last year and a half, and I ain't changing. The minute we have a nominee, I don't care if it's Romney, Santorum, Gingrich, or Paul. The moment we have a nominee, I'm going to run through that wall to get this nominee elected. I didn't feel that way 3 years ago. Didn't feel that way. John McCain didn't do a thing for me. But if you agree with me that every single day, I'm not talking weeks, I'm not talking months, every single day, this guy is in the White House. He is destroying what makes this country great. So my patriots, the next step in the revolution to regain this America is to get him out of the White House. I don't care who our nominee is. And I'm going to ask everybody to do the same thing. I respect you if you disagree with me. Absolutely respect you. We've got to get him out of the White House. We got to give Republicans control of Washington and see what they can do. And if you got that much faith in them to do right, I'm there with you. But right now, you got nobody else there. If they don't deliver, if we don't deliver, something else is coming. Every single week, when I get on an airplane to fly to Washington, I have a big old frown on my face. I don't like working there. When I'm there, I get very depressed about where we're headed. I get very depressed about whether we're going to win this fight. I mean it. I'm an Irish Catholic boy. I'm usually always smiling. Every single Thursday night or Friday morning when I get on a plane to fly back home, I am smiling. And every single weekend when I'm in front of groups like this, I go to bed those nights thinking we can do it. We can do it. But I really believe we got one more election to do it, or I don't know that we can get it back. God bless you. Let's answer some questions.